Speaking of interesting, John Cerasani, he needs to be a celebrity. He's already made his millions of dollars, and now all he wants is celebrity. And he does that by going on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's talking about his family here. We don't hear a ton about his family, but from time to time.
We have a little more lately, though. I think the last time we checked in on him, he was talking about his son. He's been talking a lot about his son recently for some reason.
Okay. Well, maybe because we're calling him out for being a lonely loser, which I think I have evidence that the dude is fucking lonely. But we'll start with this Instagram post about his son.
Yeah, this is smart.
Hey man, I'm a single dad trying to raise my kid right, and he's leaving for college in about a year and a half. It's time we start visiting some universities, but how are we going to find the time? Where do we go? Well, I get a DM the other day from a kid from the Michigan State University football team, big offensive lineman. He says, hey man, we all follow you on the squad here. We saw you took your kid to West Virginia University. How about you take Gen Pop Jake to visit Michigan State's campus? And I said, that sounds kind of good, but he's Gen Pop. Michigan State is not Gen Pop. Even though your record last year would suggest you are.
Okay. I'm glad you asked that. Gen Pop is a normie. It's a loser. It's
general population, right?
Right. Gen Pop in prison. So he's talking about like, you need to rise above Gen Pop and be better than that. He just called his son Gen Pop.
Yeah, that's why I thought maybe he got it backwards. Because
I know he literally what he just said was, now, first off, I didn't understand that offensive linemen are now in charge of recruiting. I always thought that was like the coach and the staff that did that.
But did he say he plays football, or is this just a kid going to school?
I think his son plays football.
Okay, all right. Then that makes a little
God, I hope so, because I think what he's saying here, this is how I interpreted that, is that some offensive lineman who probably him and his teammates laugh at John Cerasani when, oh, look at John's son's going to go to college. We should tell him to come to Michigan State so we can clown this guy to his face.
Yeah, we could have him buy us drinks for a night.
Yeah, right, yeah. And so I'm sure that because he was a big stud football player, went to Notre Dame, as we know. I'm sure his son has followed in his footsteps. But for some reason, an offensive lineman reaches out and says, hey, check out our program. And John comes on his Instagram and goes, there's no way my son's good enough to play for the 5-6 Michigan State.
He calls the kid not Gen Pop Jake.
Right.
Which made me think he just got it backwards, because Michigan's, it's literally a state school. So it doesn't make any sense that it wouldn't be. The football thing does make more sense if he's going there to play football, but otherwise I was like, is he just raffling off his kid? Does the kid have any say in this?
No, I assume this is a D1 school with a decent football program, and John's saying my kid's not ready for that.
Gotcha.
That's how I interpret this, which is weird.
That sounds kind of good, but he's Gen Pop. Michigan State is not Gen Pop. Even though your record last year might suggest you are, Michigan State is definitely not Gen Pop. They said we will teach Jake not to be Gen Pop Jake anymore. He will be a PhD, a doctorate in East
so he is
Lansing,
Gen
and we
Pop.
will show him this.
Yeah, he's calling his son a loser.
This kid goes to public school like a bitch. Who
Right.
put him there, you asshole?
It's really weird to me, these parents who talk about their kids on social media as if this shit doesn't stick around, especially a guy like John Cerasani.
But what I still ask, what is Gen Pop, in the sense that, like, he goes to Bears games and he's at casino, like he's in the public. What is he saying he gets the best? He's in a luxury box when he's at the Bears games or something?
He's not Gen Pop, Mike. What part is you not understanding? He gave himself a 2,000% raise. He gave himself a 2,000% raise. That's not like a Gen Pop thing to do.
He's not in the Illuminati. He's not like.
We don't know that. We don't know that. Is Bert Kreischer in the Illuminati? Probably.
Well, yes.
Does he know Bert Kreischer? Yeah, that's how they bought.
He does.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's a little tease of what's coming up. Let's finish this video.
In East Lansing, and we will show him this prowess academic institution. I said this weekend. They said it's on. I said it's on. We're coming to East Lansing. Let's go.
So because this offensive lineman watches John's stuff and reached out to him, now his son has to go look at Michigan State.
Right. The kid has no say in it. No, I'm going to look awesome in front of these fucking 20-year-olds for a day. And it's like, oh, cool. Thanks, Dad. And then at that school, Jake will always be this guy's son.
John Pop Jake.
Identity.
Right, yeah. Not a good start to life on campus.
No, I don't know why you would have any of this. The way he's talked about his kid the last few weeks, like, we shouldn't be involved in him picking a school at all.
Not with his persona. If he was just like, if his thing was, hey, I go on Instagram talking about my family and my kids or talking about being a dad or something, that'd be one thing. But no, you talk about gambling and all these pussies who can't make as much money as you did.
And, like, he's there to be laughed at. And again, like, I'm sure if I sat down with John Cerasani and had a serious talk with him, he could tell me things about business or investing or whatever that I didn't know. I'm sure he's much more well-versed in that than me. But the way he presents himself, he's a joke. Like, I think purposely so, no?
This is back to the Howard Stern conversation we were just having. John doesn't see himself as a joke.
He thinks he's a serious guy.
He thinks he's crushing it on social media. Have you seen the waterfall? You haven't, but everyone else has seen the waterfall.
Yeah.
No, he Mike, do you really think that he thinks he's a joke?
I think there has to be some element of him
No. Dude, why do you think we still love this guy? He's so delusional. He's out of touch with reality. It's great.
I suppose that's true. And then I think our next clip probably really shows.
Yeah, the next clip after that too. But don't forget, this guy started a reality show where he was going to help grow small businesses.
Right.
He's taking himself very seriously.
Yeah, I guess I keep thinking of you said Alex Stein said, like, oh, if you met the guy,
right?
I'm like, maybe he's more in on it than we realize. But no, you're making some good points.
I always think back to that too. Alex reaching out to me unprovoked to be like, hey, you'd like John, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, but Alex says that about everyone apparently. He said that about like 3 more people we cover. So
he just said the other day he likes Kevin Brennan. Everyone was playing the clip of it. He's like, the devil versus mean.
Then, I'll erase that.
Right, yeah. Alex Stein carries no weight for character at all. All right, this is you called this an odd love letter to Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, so to completely fly in the face of what I was just saying, yes. I forgot about this. Like, Bert Kreischer pointed out who John Cerasani was to laugh at him. He's telling...
Yeah, you got to watch this guy. Who was he on the
Jimmy
podcast
Kimmel,
with?
right?
Right, Jimmy Kimmel was like, oh, you got to follow this guy. And he's
a joke. He was basically saying he's a joke.
Yes. But
and Bert's like, thank you so much.
But John met Bert Kreischer and Tom and Joe because he invested in their vodka company. Mm-hmm. And we saw the video of him rubbing elbows with those guys.
Yep.
And so he thinks they're friends. John thinks he's friends with Bert Kreischer. And Bert was just on the Today Show or Good Morning America, whatever, doesn't matter. One of those morning shows. And so John sees that he's on TV and he's like, oh, I got an Instagram about this.
Yeah. Right, because he's your granddad. You think, gangster rapper and movie and this and that. He's a dad first. He's Snoop, but he's a dad. He broke me off. He goes, no, man, she's going to resent you.
I just want to interject because it's frustrating. I know we're here to make fun of John Cerasani. It's frustrating to me that Bert is talking about Snoop like he's known him for 45 years.
Dude,
he's a father.
It's so fucking ridiculous. Like, what are you guys, holiday together? What are you talking about?
I don't get why celebrities do this thing where, like, their only friends becomes, like, I just referenced this recently, too, but I've heard Big J talk about Kevin Hart. Like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock and Kevin Hart was like, those are my brothers up there. And Big J was like, the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, you barely know them.
Correct. But this is Bert talking about Snoop and John Cerasani talking about Bert. So this is how far we're removed here.
It's all very exhausting.
Snoop Dogg, one of the biggest celebrities on the planet, overexposed in my opinion. It's too much Snoop Dogg.
But he's been around for 40 years, 30 years, whatever.
Yes, right. He was actually very cool in the 90s. And then trickling down all the way to John Cerasani somehow in this video.
She's going to resent you. You smoke weed? I was like, yeah. He's like, it was your weed. She stole it from you. I was like, she's a thief too? Like, hey, man.
Bert Kreischer, keep going, brother. Killing it.
So he plays this little clip from him on, just this nonsense story on the Today Show or whatever.
And then, TV,
and then he pulls up a framed photo of him with Bert and hey, Bert, you're killing it. And he tagged Bert in this clip too, so that Bert would see it on Instagram and be like, oh, my buddy John Cerasani's giving me a nice shout out.
My brother, my best friend.
Let me read you what he wrote next to this post.
Okay.
This dude is blowing up and all over the place.
It's true.
Well, hold on a second. He had his movie 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, he's been blown up. Yes,
He blew up a while ago.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Joe Rogan experience is where we might want to go back to it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he tags him at Bert Kreischer, gave me a huge opportunity in the past with absolutely nothing for him to gain on his end. I am so happy to see him on top yet again. Keep going.
What was the
Nothing to gain.
opportunity?
Well, I don't know what the opportunity he's referring to is. I do know that John invested in his vodka brand and gave him a bunch of money. So let's say that something happened before that, and Bert was nice to multimillionaire John Cerasani. Nothing to gain?
Right. He's
future
got an
investor.
investor in his company.
Right. Yeah. So I don't think Bert's the smartest guy in the world, but he might have known that he might have something to gain eventually.
We were just talking about cringy things that you'd want deleted off the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm certain I've done, like, the first time someone I admire like retweeted me or whatever, I'm sure I had a douchey response where I'm like, oh my God, so like some comedian or some fucking Boston journalist or whatever
Yeah,
retweeted
dude,
me.
that's so embarrassing too. We're still laughing at you.
I know, but I have the excuse I can at least rationalize my brain is I was a man in my 20s, early 20s. John Cerasani's fucking 50. And he's like, oh my God, guys, look, Bert Kreischer knows who I am. Isn't that awesome?
And
It's
he's on television right now on a show no one's watching. Yeah, he's on
kids
top.
in college, John. Why are you acting like this?
But this is why he's a lonely man. The fact that he sees who he considers a friend on TV and he's like, oh, let me pause my DVR, rewind that, get my phone out, record myself watching him on TV, give him a shout out. That's a lonely guy thing to do.
Well, if you knew him, you could text him and say, hey, saw you on Good Morning
Yeah,
America.
good job.
Nice jam."
Could you imagine? Chrissy Mayer was just on Adam Carolla. Could you imagine? It would never even occur to me in my life. I
It's
watched
all
her
we'd be
appearance.
playing today if you made a video.
I watched her appearance. I thought she was great. People seem to like her on the show. Could you imagine? I was just like, my old friend Chrissy Mayer on Adam Carolla. Can you believe it, guys? Good for you, Chrissy, on top of the world.
I want that video of you watching TV with a tear coming down your cheek. There she is. She did it.
She made it. She did it.
There she is.
Fucking ridiculous. All right. This is what we've all been waiting for. John's always giving us opportunities, us Gen Pop rejects, opportunities. And it's not up to him whether we take advantage or not. He's just putting it out there for us.
We're going to get out on the ground floor. There's something here. Focus.
So when common folks are in the presence of greatness, it's often that they don't understand it. It's years later, months later, maybe decades later that they say, wow, I was a part of something really, really cool. Well, listen, everybody, you're in the presence of greatness right now. I'm not saying this to be cocky, but if you pay attention to what's happening over the next 30 days, it is undeniably going to rub off on you. It's going to be like a scorpion that goes in your ear, or like an ear bug, earworm, or whatever it's called, and starts eating different parts of your brain and spreads out throughout your body, but in a positive way.
Okay. That was the worst analogy you could possibly think of.
Why?
That'd be like saying, you know what, guys, it's going to be like going to hell and suffering for eternity, but the opposite of what that
But
would
in a
be.
positive way. Yeah.
But the opposite of that. It'd be like cancer going to every organ in your body, but like if cancer was like really cool and great.
You're rotting from the inside. Like,
What the fuck?
but good.
What's
Good
wrong with
rotting.
you, idiot?
Not a negative way. I have 27 videos I'm posting on my YouTube channel over the next 30 days.
That won't
It
be
is going to be the
exhausting.
greatest
Yeah, I know.
blackjack clinic of all time. I don't do it as a tutorial. It's me playing, but I help you out looking at the camera. And yeah, we have some fun. There's some fun people in it, some pretty women.
Nice.
He's putting out 27 videos in 30 days of him playing blackjack.
I got news for you, Carl. I don't know how often you scroll through his actual Instagram. He does that already. I don't know why this was news. Like, I'm going to be in the casino. I'm going to be playing blackjack. I'm going to be bragging about my winnings. He's done that already.
Yeah, we get it.
Some guys going nuts. But
You know what's great about this video? I'm glad you picked this one. It's a little long, but I'm glad you picked this. The way he sets it up, you would think he was going to give us the secret to life or I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs watching this show. Here's the one trick that's going to get you over the top and your business is going to succeed or something. Like the way he says something is like, guys, there's a lot of idiots out there aren't paying attention. In the next 30 days, if you pay attention to me, I'm telling you, streets paved with gold in your future. Yeah. And he goes, I'm going to play blackjack on YouTube.
I've got 2 words for you guys. Mega Millions.
I know.
It's only $1 a day. You play that number sometimes gets up into the billions. You understand?
And all he has to do is have one guy who said, I bought a ticket because you said I should, and I won. He'd be like, I've made hundreds of millions of dollars for people.
Yeah.
Just listen to me. I've got the right advice.
Pay attention, guys. You're going to learn a lot about how to play and win in blackjack. Now, speaking of winning, I just got back from Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut, and I made it to the final table of the blackjack tournament. It was a $300,000 tournament. Boom. What else is new? There was big-time people in there. Ken Shamrock from the UFC was in it. Mr. Handpay.
Whoa. That was almost Stuttering John-esque, where now he's got his catchphrase.
Hey, pipe down. I want to hear this guy who rubbed elbows with Ken Shamrock.
I play blackjack. I'm a fan of the game. A blackjack tournament, it doesn't interest me in any way. A blackjack's not a tournament game.
No,
you just play against the dealer. It's you versus the house.
They're not big celebrities, the guys that win those.
What's he talking about? Yeah, have you ever seen blackjack on ESPN? I've seen poker. I've watched a lot of poker on TV. I've never seen blackjack on TV. I could be wrong.
You guys might think I'm bullshitting you, but Ken Shamrock was there. So impressed yet?
The slot influencer was in it. Last year we had Big Papi in it. Well, I made it to that final table, guys.
I was excited. I was so glad he said that name.
Big Papi?
Probably five-ish years ago, I think. Mm-hmm. I went to record something for the Kirk Minahan show. Me and Justin Trudell went to David Ortiz's home, Big Papi.
Okay.
Because he was having a what are they called? Those auction for an estate sale.
Okay, yeah.
He was auctioning off all of his belongings, all the way down to Wally the Green Monster water bottles.
Oh, no.
And the belief is that he has a terrible gambling problem.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's not a good sign of a guy who made, what, $250 million over his career, probably, just in salary alone, not even endorsements?
Yeah. So, I don't know dick about Ken Shamrock, but I happen to know David Ortiz should not be the poster boy for living your life via gambling.
Decision to make. Hey, do we chop the 7 of us, or do we play this out? Now, a lot of you guys in the comments were being only PUSSYs, chop, dude. Go, go, go. Well, you guys are forgetting one thing. This ain't a poker tournament, guys. It's a blackjack tournament. When you play in a blackjack tournament, you're against the dealer, and whoever has the most money at the end after 15 hands is the winner.
That's stupid.
Is that right?
That's really... I've never heard of that. I don't know anything about blackjack tournaments.
You're a PUSSY.
Well, right. That's really dumb.
All of us knew that anything could happen. Anything could happen. You could go on a bad run right there, and there's nothing you could do about it. It's not like poker, all right? So we chopped, and I was very happy with it. Another reason I chopped was I looked at the other people. If I didn't chop and I went and beat them, I actually would have felt bad for a couple of the people. There's a couple people that came from the bottom ranks all the way up.
Is that Big Papi is talking about right there, maybe?
We're more than ecstatic to be there, and they never won 40 grand plus in their life. So that's another thing, too, by the way. A little compassionate. So I'm very happy. I got 2 more blackjack tournaments coming up in the very near future. I got one at Baha Mar. That's a big time one. Only 30 people are in it. And then I also have one at the Win, a celebrity blackjack tournament at the end of April. Guys, we got big things on the horizon, dude. Big, big things. I'm up well into the 6 figures, even with my big loss a couple weeks ago, year to date. Last couple years that I've been up into the 7 figures. All right? John.
Okay, I want to talk about this.
What?
He's up well into the 7 figures. Now, what's the bare minimum 7 figures you could win playing blackjack?
9 million. Oh, bare minimum, $1 million.
Bare minimum, $1 million. Right. So if you're up right. So you were already thinking that way. Well into the 7 figures would be $9 million. Yeah. $8.5 million. Is he pretending he's won that much money in blackjack? Because
pretending.
all right. I'm going to play you the video that he's promoting. I
You don't understand. No. You don't get it. There are a lot of videos where because you're probably thinking he loses money. That's the tone I'm picking up from you.
Well, I also don't think if he is winning money, he's winning millions of dollars.
I see a lot of videos where he's down like $150,000, and then this son of a bitch, he turns it around.
He crawls back and
he
breaks
ends up
even.
winning $300,000.
Yeah, right.
On Cerasani TV on YouTube is where you want to be, starting at 6 p.m. Central tonight for part 1, 9 p.m. Central for part 2. Let's go. I'll be in the live chat.
2 a night, and he's in the live chat. That's amazing. So the first comment under this Instagram video is, what happened to the 2,000% raise message, John? This page used to be about a guy who bet on himself, killed it in business, and was motivating others to do the same. Now it just seems to be an ego-driven guy with a gambling addiction. Blackjack literally cannot even be beat in the long run without counting cards. I don't mean any disrespect, just honestly sad to see, because this page used to be a great follow for young entrepreneurs.
I like that there are John Cerasani purists out there.
Yeah.
Like, I like his old stuff.
I love that. That's amazing. So John responds to this, of course, as he's ought to do. And he says, the gambling stuff is part of the lifestyle I built for myself doing the aforementioned. I still talk about entrepreneurship stuff at least a couple times a week. Tomorrow, I have some financial literacy stuff coming out too. Appreciate the feedback though. However, I do disagree with you on your counting cards comment. You need to start paying attention to what I'm saying in my gambling videos and not just dismiss them on the surface. Now, unless you're GG33, you can't predict the future of numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and just say whatever system he thinks he has, he's wrong. The way that Blackjack works, if you're not counting cards, the house will eventually win. It's flipping a coin that the heads is weighted. It's going to show up 52% of the time.
I think this is a foolproof market-based system he's got here. I think it's very smart. He's literally promoting, he's shilling the thing that guys in John Cerasani's position, because he's trying to tell you how to be an entrepreneur and everything. From Warren Buffett on down. I was going to say all these guys, the first thing they would say is not to gamble with your money, but they wouldn't even say that because it's so obvious they wouldn't have to.
Right.
Like if you were talking to Warren Buffett, he wouldn't be like, well, obviously you can't gamble all your money on blackjack, because he would think it'd be so glaringly obvious that you don't need to start with that lesson.
But John's got a different vision for us.
Yeah.
And so here's a clip from this video, the first video he just promoted right there.
Yeah.
I just want to show you what we're talking about. This is going to change your life over the next 30 days.
Oh, good.
Unless you're an idiot and don't watch this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm staying at 3. F what you heard. Come on.
Okay. He's got $3,000 down on this bet. He just pulled an 8-2, which is a 10. Decent starting position. The dealer is going to flip, and the dealer flips a 10.
Oh, every time, dude.
And then checks, and it is a blackjack. Dealer takes it.
Mercy. Lamborghini, Mercy. Oh, boy. All right, guys. I say we stay with the course. I'm not going to 2 hands just because of that. We're going to go down to $1,000, though. Come on.
So he loses the hand, and he changes his bet from 3,000 to 1,000. This is a man who's up high seven figures. Remember.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, wait, you're winning $10 million?
He must be there some arduous hours.
Yeah, I mean, people do play for a long time, but. All right, now he's got a king 3 against a 5. The 5 is another 5, 15, 9. He wins.
I'll take it, sir.
And now the camera switches to him. And this is the most enraging part of this video. Because there's people around watching him play. Because, of course, there's 2 cameras set up, and he's in the high roller room playing blackjack. And he has this interaction with this guy next to him, who I can tell he hates. I can tell he hates this guy.
This is a big sound effect guy. You should have been here when he first started. Hey, so this guy, when I like him, we're friends now. But he won a contest. He won a contest where the first 8 hands, just making sound effects. Like, come on, go on. Oh, as we're losing. I go, dude, you stand 9 feet that way. I didn't say it though. And the cards turned, buddy. You know why? Because you got a good spirit about you, Hunter.
Awkward handshake. No, but dude, no, you're cool now, man. Just please stop fucking.
Does he mean one of his contests? Like this guy won a contest to be with John Cerasani?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because he's sitting right next to him. That would make sense.
Then what? If that's true, then what a cunt to talk about him like that.
Yes. I mean, either way, but yes.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. You watch John get a 10 and he loses to a blackjack, and then the next hand he stays on a 13 and the dealer busts. Like, wow, I'm learning a lot.
1,000 down, 9,998,000 to go. Go to blindmike.com for Blind Mike, or go to whoarethese.com for KARL, and make sure you subscribe to both channels, or there will be no banter.